the South Africans have done it, and my hats off to Brandon Harkis. Well done for the good hard work you've put in, and tremendous result.
From the Eastern Cape hamlet of Tarkastad, it was back to the Northwest Province for round 6 of the championship in the arid Pilanesberg region. The Sun City 400 would be the last opportunity for the stragglers in the production and special vehicle championships to try and catch up to the leaders. Nissan swamped the opposition by finishing first and second overall in the production vehicle category and first and second overall in the special vehicle category and winning 4 classes. Hannes Grobler and Richard Leek in the proudly South African Nissan hardbody stormed across the line almost 16 minutes ahead of special vehicle category winners Garrett Berthold and Brandon Harkis in the Nissan V6-powered adrenalized corporate entertainment bat. The bat pair picked up their second consecutive victory in what was a triumph for a locally designed and constructed off-road racing vehicle. Duncan Foss and Mike Griffith finished third overall and second in the production vehicle category in the proudly South African Nissan hardbody, and were followed across the line by Clint Gibson in the Class B Nissan 2-litre powered Presidium Financial Services bat. Gibson recorded his third successive Class B win, but this time without co-driver Mike Brown, who was forced to withdraw after the prologue because his 18-month-old child was admitted to hospital on Friday. Class E championship leaders Mark Cronje and Chris Birkin had matters all their own way in the Class E battle, and despite 3 punctures they finished 5th overall, 3rd in the production vehicle category and 1st in Class E in the Castrol Toyota Hilux 2.7i. Hein Grobler and Gerard Prinsloo gave Nissan their 4th class win when they crossed the line 6th overall and 1st in Class D in the GBS Racing Nissan hardbody. Teammates Coetzee Labuschagne and Johan Gerber finished 2nd in Class D, while MC Coetzee and Johan Liebenberg rolled out of contention, and JP and Linda Augustin retired with suspension problems. Months of development finally bore fruit for the Nashua Mobile team when Terence Marsh and Trevor Ayer finished 7th overall, 3rd overall in the special vehicle category and 2nd in Class A. They were followed 13 minutes later by John Moore and Fred Werner in the Shell Connex Chenoweth, who were now contenders for the Class A championship after Atang Makegenene and Vic Kampfer in the Total Sam Racing Jimco and Gerald Mandel and Billy Bond in the Prolonged Bat retired with mechanical problems. Cassie Coetzee and Oki Fourie finished 9th overall, 5th in the production vehicle category and 2nd in Class E in the Castrol Toyota Hilux KZTE, while brothers Yuri and Andre Duplessis finished 10th overall and 3rd in Class E in the BB Auto Nissan hardbody. The battle for the production vehicle honours was one of epic proportions, with the Nissans of Grobler and Leek, Voss and Griffith and Janelle de Villiers and Francois Jordan, the Team Ford Racing Ranger of Neil Woolridge and Ken Scholthammer, and the Castrol Toyota Land Cruiser of Api Reinecke and Robin Houghton locked in battle for the first 2 130-kilometre laps. De Villiers and Jordan broke 3 drive shafts, Woolridge and Scholthammer lost the power steering on the 3rd lap, and then the battery internals collapsed. The gearbox on the Reinecke and Houghton Castrol Toyota Land Cruiser failed, forcing them into retirement. Belgian Gregoire de Mavius and VZ van Zyl had a torrid time in the prologue and started the main event in 33rd position, but they eventually got to grips with the Audi V8-powered adrenalized corporate entertainment bat and had moved up to 9th overall at the end of the 1st lap. De Mavius later retired with severe abdominal cramp. Only 21 of the 68 entrants made it to the finish of what many rate as the toughest race of the season to date.
It went very well, and I must say Richard did a very, very good job today. It was not easy to drive in the front looking for the route. I think if you look at the tracks on the 2nd and 3rd loop where the guys went wrong, I think we were very lucky to get the right route, and we went once or twice just for 10 seconds or so wrong. But luckily we found the right route and we stayed in the front.
very tough race. Cars going to have sore cars, sore bodies. Only one incident, RP hit us in the corner, I don't know, I think he lost his brain. After that we changed a flat wheel and we carried on going, and besides that, no hiccups, car was excellent.
The essay is proudly presented by ABSA.
The Toyota Dealer 400 marked the first occasion that a round of the National Championship had been held in Mpumalanga, with Lydenburg playing host to the penultimate round of the championship. Production Vehicle Championship leaders and winners of 5 of the 6 events this year to date, Hannes Grobler and Richard Beek, fought off a determined charge from Castrol Toyota Land Cruiser crew Api Reinecker and Robin Houghton, who led at various times during the event and eventually finished third. Teammates Duncan Foss and Mike Griffith, who finished second in the proudly South African Nissan. And early race leaders Neil Woolridge and Ken Schultheimer in the Team Ford Racing Ranger, who retired with rear differential problems at the end of the second loop. Class E Championship leaders Mark Grenier and Chris Birkin in the Castrol Toyota Hilux 2.7i finished 4th overall in the production vehicle category to clinch the Class E Championship. Father and son, Cliff and Louis Weichelt, picked up their second Class D win of the season in the N1 4x4 Toyota Land Cruiser. The scene was set for a long overdue special vehicle overall win after Gary Berthold and Brandon Harkes qualified fastest in Friday's prologue, but it was not to be. They led from the start, but then wrong slotted and landed in a hole which cost them 30 minutes. They eventually finished 5th to give BAT Racing a clean sweep of the top 5 positions. Clint Gibson and Mike Brown took over the special vehicle lead, but 30 kilometers from the finish, they hit a big ditch and broke a left front upper control arm and were forced to limp home with a wheel askew. To make matters worse, and with a debut victory in sight, they took a wrong turn in the pit complex, and Mark Corbett and John Moore nipped through and won by 49 seconds in the Century Property Development BAT. Husband and wife, Gerard and Kobe Duplessis, started 38th overall and worked their way through the field to finish 3rd overall in the Mobile Gymco. Andrew Birkin won Class B in the WPP Wingfoot. Special Vehicle and Class B Championship leader Giel Nel finished 2nd in Class B in the Look Africa Truggy. Nardus Alberts and Colin Hunter won Class S in the Rapsa Raceco.
I think the club did a very, very good job for the first time out. There's a few little things that we'll have to talk to them about. But I think the route was rough at places. They had a little bit of everything in there, and I think it was a good off-road route and a good national championship.
We had a great race. We got a bit lost in the first loop, which held us back a bit, but it's good to be in front again and to win a race.
The two